Hello and welcome. Have you ever looked up at the sky and wondered if the events above us hold deeper meaning? For centuries, people have believed that celestial phenomena, like eclipses and blood moons, are more than just natural occurrences. They've been interpreted as signs, warnings, or even fulfillments of prophetic events. As we approach the partial solar eclipse on March 29, 2025, many are asking, is this another clue that the end times are near? Let's take a moment to explore this fascinating subject from a biblical, historical, and prophetic perspective. Throughout history, many religious groups have looked to celestial events, particularly solar and lunar eclipses, as messages from the heavens. These occurrences have often been seen as signs of important events or warnings of what might come. Eclipses, in particular, have been linked to the prophecies, and in some cases they have even been associated with the end of the world. This connection is especially strong within the Christian faith. As the world prepares for the upcoming partial solar eclipse in 2025, there are some Christians who wonder whether this event is just another natural occurrence or if it holds deeper prophetic significance. In biblical prophecy, celestial disturbances are often mentioned as indicators that the end times may be drawing near. For example, passages like Joel 2:31 say, "The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon shall be turned into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord." Verses like this, along with others in Matthew 24:29 and Revelation 6:12, paint a picture of celestial events occurring before major world-changing events. These biblical references have led many to wonder if eclipses, including the one in 2025, could be signs of something much bigger happening. Despite the fact that scientists view eclipses as natural phenomena that can be predicted, some theologians and prophecy watchers believe that these events might align with bigger spiritual or geopolitical shifts. The question of whether the March 29, 2025 eclipse is a divine sign or just a coincidence is something people have been debating. However, one thing is clear. Throughout history, celestial events often spark conversations about prophecy, the future, and the fulfillment of Scripture. Many references to solar and lunar events in the Bible link these occurrences to God's wrath and the fulfillment of prophecy. For instance, Joel 2:31 and Revelation 6:12 describe the sun turning dark and the moon turning to blood, powerful imagery connected to the end of days. These verses suggest that, according to some interpretations, we might see these kinds of celestial phenomena right before major spiritual events unfold, such as the Last Judgment or the Second Coming of Christ. There are many who follow prophecy who think the eclipse of 2025 might fit into a larger timeline of biblical events. While eclipses are scientifically predictable, the timing of these events, especially when they align with moments of global unrest, can raise intriguing questions. Some see these occurrences as more than just predictable natural events. They view them as part of a bigger picture, one that may be unfolding in front of our eyes. Throughout history, eclipses have often coincided with significant changes or events in the world. From political upheavals to natural disasters, these occurrences have sparked debates about their prophetic meanings. The 2025 partial solar eclipse will happen just a year after the total solar eclipse on April 8, 2024, which was highly discussed in prophetic circles, especially because it passed over a particular region of the world. Some believe that the 2025 eclipse could serve as a follow-up or secondary sign, confirming the idea of divine warnings and the fulfillment of prophecy. As we face increasing global tensions, economic instability, and natural disasters, many prophecy watchers see these as signs that we are moving closer to a time of great tribulation. With another solar eclipse on the horizon, some are wondering if it's a divine confirmation of the times we're living in. There's also the connection to the Jewish calendar to consider. Many believe that eclipses that occur near important Jewish holidays carry special spiritual significance. If this upcoming eclipse aligns with such dates, it could add more weight to the idea that it's a pivotal moment in biblical prophecy. While scientists continue to explain eclipses as natural predictable events, many people still believe these occurrences could be messages from God. Whether or not the 2025 eclipse is part of an ongoing prophetic timeline remains open to interpretation. However, the timing of this eclipse, amidst the turmoil we see on the world stage, will undoubtedly fuel ongoing debates about its significance. So, whether you're someone who sees these celestial events as just science or as divine signs, one thing is certain. This eclipse is sure to spark more conversations about what lies ahead for us all. We hope this exploration into the significance of the upcoming eclipse has sparked your curiosity. No matter where you stand on the matter, the mysteries of the heavens continue to captivate and inspire us all. According to a number of interpretations of biblical prophecy, a sequence of signs will take place prior to the return of Christ by the end of the world. It is common practice to consider astronomical occurrences, such as solar eclipses, to be a component of these prophetic markers. An example of one of these indicators may be the partial solar eclipse that will occur on March 29, 2025. Here is how eclipses can fall into the time frame of the end of the millennium. And you will hear of battles and rumors of warfare, the Bible says. It is important that you should not get anxious because all of these things are going to happen, but the end is not yet here. There is a possibility that the conviction that we are living in the latter days may be strengthened if global conflicts become more intense around the time of the eclipse. There are some people who follow prophecy who believe that heavenly signals might be divine warnings of future trouble. This is because tensions are building in a number of different locations. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed. There are some individuals who believe that the appearance of celestial signs, such as eclipses, might be a forerunner to the revelation of the Antichrist, the one who has been predicted to come to power in the end times. This is the idea that has been put out by these individuals. As an example, eclipses are a kind of signal that comes from the heavens. It is feasible that the occurrence of significant political or religious events around the time of the eclipse might add validity to the hypothesis that the eclipse is of significant importance. This is something that could happen. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. There are prophecies that talk about the natural calamities that are supposed to occur before the end of the world. These natural disasters are tied to celestial signs, and there are also celestial signs that are prophesied to occur. It is quite probable that this phenomenon will be seen as a component of this pattern in the case that additional natural disasters, such as severe earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, or other natural disasters, occur after the eclipse. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. It has been said that the Great Tribulation was a period of time that stands out as the most terrible period in the history of the world. There is a potential that some persons might consider the occurrence of catastrophic catastrophes, persecutions, or economic breakdowns at the same time as or shortly after the eclipse to be evidence that the world is entering the era that was predicted. This is because the eclipse is a sign that the world is about to enter the period that was predicted. According to a substantial number of people all across the world, the evident proof that the end of the world has arrived is the visual return of Jesus Christ, which will be followed by huge upheavals in the heavens. This is the evidence that the world has come to an end, as a result of the fact that they will be witnesses to the coming of the Son of Man with immense power and glory. All of the countries of the globe will be in sorrow when the Son of Man appears in the sky, according to a text that can be found in the Bible. There are a significant number of individuals who are of the opinion that this incident is the definitive proof that the end times have begun, despite the fact that it is not predicted that the eclipse that will take place in 2025 will be the last tragedy that will mark the end of the world. It is likely that it will be understood as one of the many signals that will lead up to it. Although eclipses are recognized by scientists to be natural and predictable phenomena that are brought about by the movements of the sun, moon, and earth, the considerable number of Christians continue to see them as significant benchmarks in the prophetic timeline of God. This is despite the fact that eclipses are believed to be natural and predictable occurrences. Those who have an interest in prophecy will, without a doubt, participate in conversation on the eclipse that will take place in the year 2025, regardless of whether or not it is a mere coincidence or a message from God. The eclipse is slated to take place in a year and location that have connections to significant astronomical events that have occurred in the past. This is significant for those individuals who believe that the heavens have prophetic significance. Because of this, the eclipse is much more intriguing to individuals who hold certain views. As far as the scientific community is concerned, solar eclipses are believed to be phenomena that may be explained by the predictable motion of celestial bodies. It is possible for astronomers to pinpoint the precise date and location of eclipses years, or even decades, in advance of the particular solar eclipse. These forecasts are developed on the basis of the fundamental principles that govern the physical universe. There will be a partial solar eclipse on March 29, 2025, which is an example of such an event. This particular eclipse will take place. The occurrence of this phenomenon is a predictable event that may be investigated and grasped using the procedures of science. The regular functioning of the cosmos is fully accounted for by this phenomena, which fits in flawlessly. Even in this day and age, eclipses continue to have a significant spiritual importance for a large number of people. The individuals who subscribe to this concept are of the opinion that the natural occurrences in question are signs from God that are used in order to communicate with humanity. Throughout the whole of the Bible, heavenly events are often referred to as omens, which are interpretations of signs that indicate divine involvement. According to various interpretations of the prophetic interpretations, eclipses have the potential to possess an impact on the progression of events that will take place during the end times. As a result of the frequency and consistency with which these occurrences might take place, skeptics argue that it is not reasonable to ascribe prophetic significance to each and every eclipse. On the other hand, history indicates that several civilizations and religious groups have considered astronomical occurrences as divine communications. These communities often equated these phenomena with key historical or spiritual advancements due to the fact that they were associated with these events. As a result, the question that needs to be answered is not whether eclipses really do happen. Rather, the question that needs to be asked is whether the time of their occurrence and the conditions in which they take place have any higher significance. Many people who are interested in prophecy have been made aware of the fact that the partial solar eclipse that is scheduled to take place in March 2025 is very close to another huge eclipse that is scheduled to take place on April 8, 2024, to be more exact. Some individuals have seen a connection between these two events, which implies that they could be a part of a larger pattern overall. This connection has been observed by some people. In addition, a vast number of persons feel that the current state of the planet, which is marked by geopolitical wars, natural tragedies, and social instability, may be revealing symptoms that are in agreement with biblical prophecy. When considering religious interpretations, it is important to take into account a number of factors, one of which is the relationship between eclipses and the Jewish calendar. This connection is an essential component in a variety of distinct prophetic beliefs. There is one event that many people who are following end-time prophecies are paying attention to, and that is the partial solar eclipse that will take place on March 29, 2025. In spite of the fact that it could simply be a stunning natural event, there are a lot of people who are speculating that it might have a deeper and more prophetic significance. Christians are encouraged to keep watch, pray, and exercise discernment at all times, regardless of the way in which prophecy is carried out. Any discussion that centers on the part that heavenly happenings play in the narrative of the end times should be approached with the same frame of mind. In spite of the fact that we may choose to interpret the eclipse in a variety of ways, it serves as a powerful reminder of the vastness of God's creation and the necessity of being spiritually prepared for whatever may occur in the future. Regardless of whether this eclipse is a message from the supernatural or merely another natural wonder, the fact that humans have always looked to the sky for answers is something that cannot be denied. This is something that has always been the case. At this very moment, the fulfillment of biblical prophecy is taking place right in front of our very eyes, and we find ourselves wondering if this is just another astronomical incident that we are seeing, or whether it is, in fact, the former. There is a possibility that the scriptures, in addition to the signs that are all around us, contain accurate information. Always remember to keep our eyes open, always be ready for whatever the future may bring, and never stop looking on the bright side of things. All of these things are really important in their own right. It is my prayer that God would bless you and guide you through these moments of uncertainty until the next time we meet once again.